Our valley has made a name for itself as, a premier agriculture region. One of the things that sets our region apart from other parts in the world and why we have such high quality crops is our access to high quality irrigation.
Without water, there would be no agriculture here. It's far-reaching. It's the #1 employer in the valley, so that impacts everyone here. Doctors, dentists, lawyers, everybody shares in that huge income that agriculture provides to our valley.
We first delivered water in 1910. The engineers at that time had to not only design the system and oversee the construction, they also had to figure out how to feed and house the working men to get the job done. And they did it in 3 years. The canal was in precast concrete sections 2 feet at a time. They brought it up onto the hillside and laid them in place and then grouted them together with a mortar mixture and laid this grade. So there's 9 miles of open canal, which is horseshoe shaped, and then there's 3 miles of tunnels. Since that time, that's basically what the canal structure's been. In the late 70s, they did a study of the canal and said it had 40 more years of life if it was maintained properly. So here, that's 1978, here we are in 2019, so we basically exceeded its life capacity at this point.
You have a structure that's that old, many hours of maintenance done on the same old structure. We see what we can from the surface, but we don't really know what's going on underneath, how the concrete's degrading. It's been up there 100 years, well that's good, but it's been up there 100 years. So maybe we should think about doing something that's going to put that in a more stable location, something that we have confidence that we're not going to lose our lifeline.
Our storage is in Rimrock Reservoir, which is behind the Tieton Dam, up on the Tieton River. 7 miles downstream from the dam is where our diversion is. And then our main canal follows Highway 12 up on the hill for about 12 miles. And then at the very end, it tunnels through the cliff into our reservoir on the other side. With the reservoir right now, we've got about 540 acre feet of usable water. At full flow, that's a day worth of water. And then from that reservoir, it goes into a 90-inch main line and heads out to all the distribution system.
The district is comprised of about 28,000 acres of high-value apples, cherries, pears, and all sorts of other commodities. Virtually all of the water that serves the district acreage comes through that Tieton Canal. If that canal were to fail, it could potentially be devastating to the agricultural economy of the district. We have roughly estimated the value of the agriculture here in the district is probably in excess of about $600 million a year. The impacts to the district alone could be, in excess of $1 billion under some sort of a catastrophic loss. Early in our evaluation process, we determined just because of the location, the difficult access, the fact that the canal had to remain in service, and the fact that it's very exposed and vulnerable to the elements now, that keeping the canal in its current position is not a good long-term solution. So we are looking at several alternatives simultaneously now.
The first one that we're looking at is we're looking to tunnel the lower half of the main canal, about 5 miles of it, from Windy Point to French Canyon, where we delivered into the reservoir, and that would be a gravity flow system. Then the upper canal we would armor up somehow. We either replace it with a box culvert or just armor it up for the short term so we can continue to deliver water in a gravity flow. That's probably in the $100 to $130 million range estimated. The other options we're looking at is relocating our diversion dam from its present location to what they call the Wapatox diversion site, the junction of the Tieton and Natchez River. It's just below that. So that gives us the advantage of 2 water sources instead of just one. We would put in a large pump station and then put in a pipeline that from that pump station off that canal diversion and pump it up about 3 miles into an existing main line, and that would also go into our reservoir. And then in combination with that, we're looking at putting in a reservoir above French Canyon called the North Fork Reservoir, which would be either 20,000 acre feet or 35,000 acre feet. And we could pump water up into French Canyon and then again up into that reservoir.
There's a wide price range amongst these alternatives, but also a wide range in the benefits that they would provide to YTID and other environmental and agricultural interests throughout the valley.
Trout Unlimited has talked with Yakima Tieton Irrigation District and other irrigators as part of the Yakima Basin Integrated Plan. YTID is moving forward with trying to develop some alternatives for supplying water in a way that may provide more in-stream flow benefit, more environmental benefit, but also provide a significant benefit to the customers and also fit within the framework of the integrated plan. It's a robust process and it's proven its worth before on other projects that other irrigation districts have put forward.
We've always managed for a variety of resources, fish, wildlife, irrigation, flood control, all of those things. So we've always been multi-purpose. We're doing things in a thoughtful approach that's coordinated, that has multiple benefits. A lot of times what we need is authorization, legislation, appropriations to get projects done. We've done our environmental studies that supported us choosing the integrated plan alternative as what we would implement moving forward. And so a lot of the pre-work has been done, but it takes continual support. Perseverance is, often a big element of how we get something done like this.
Whatever direction that we as water users go, it's going to be in the hundreds of millions of dollars. But we have to weigh that cost against the cost of a catastrophic failure.
A catastrophic event that takes out the canal, we're not able to water the crops, we're not able to produce the fruit, we have to take out orchards in certain areas. That affects more than just the Borton Fruit Company or the fruit companies around. It affects all the employees that live and work in this area. Definitely a rippling effect that is more than just, the large farmers out there that grow the fruit. It's everybody that's involved in that process.
Doing nothing is not an option. We have to do something with the canal. It's served its purpose. It's exceeded its life expectancy. It's operating, it works, but it's not going to be the long-term solution. So we need to do something. Our goal is to protect it for the next 100 years, and we want to do it as efficiently and as cost-effective as we can. And that's why we're looking at these alternatives.
Something definitely needs to be done. Every night we stay awake thinking, especially thunderstorms, man. When we get some bad weather up there, it really keeps us up at night. What's the canal doing? Something needs to be done to secure the water for the water users.